All right, this is the first day I've worked with this little filly right here. I recorded this a week ago. Haven't got around to posting it yet, but I am going to post it right now. But anyway, she's supposed to be kicky and bitey and strikey. She loaded in the trailer really easy to come over here. Really smart cow horse bred filly. We'll see how this goes. And the reason I'm doing it in the stall is because she's not halter broke yet, and I don't want her just pulling on me. We'll get her out and work her in the outside tomorrow. If she goes as good today as she did when we picked her up, she's a good candidate to be outside the pen tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to touch her. And like I said, she's supposed to be bitey. So far I haven't seen anything wrong with her. And I'm not going to borrow no trouble. We'll just put a neck rope on her. And just do the deal. We'll dance with whoever we took to the party, and I'm not going to work on something that don't need worked on. Tom told me one time, he said the easiest way to get along with these horses is just do what they need when they need it. No more, no less. So I'll just push her over here. And we'll put this over her head. I got gloves on. It's harder than hell to tie knots when you got gloves on, but I'll give it a try. It's kind of chilly. Okay. You can see she's kind of rubbing and lipping on me, but it's no big deal. Now, like I said, she's not halter broke. We're going to get her halter broke, and we're going to work on her kicking and all of that stuff. First thing I'm going to do, I do with all of them, is I rub their face. Why do I rub their face first? Because that's where the brain is. Their eyes are closer to their brain than anything else, and if I can get her face and her head gentle, if I can. Some of these colts, they won't let you touch them on the face. Well, don't make it a big deal. Touch them somewhere else and work towards the face. Now, if somebody tells you that their colt's kicky, bitey, and strikey, don't just ignore it, but don't treat them that way unless it presents itself. I'm just going to rub her all over. I'm going to go down here and rub that leg. I'll rub the front of it, underneath her belly and down her front legs. There's a back leg. I hope you can see this. But we're not treating her any way other than the way she's treating us. And we're just going to rub her all over until there's no way that I could use this stick and flag to teach her anything if she's afraid of it. So, I've got to get her whole body to where her whole body's not afraid of it. And if you can notice, I'm not waving this around like a madman. I'm just touching all the body parts. Now we're back here to this face again. There we go. She's a gentle little thing. At least that's what she's showing so far. And so I'm not going to treat her like she's wild. I'm not just going to come in here and dominate her. I'm just going to show her a couple things, get her mind active. Now I'm going to start doing just a little bit of this. You see how she's chasing that flag with her head? That's good. That's real good. So I'm going to go over and then touch her face. She wants to touch it. So if she wants to touch it, we're going to let her touch it, but we're going to let that be a reward. So I'm going to come over here and do this. Now to reward her, I'll let her touch it. A lot of times, now I'm going to touch her with my hand and rub her all over, bring her face back, pet her again. I'm going to put my finger in her mouth. When she opens her mouth, I'll take it out. Remember, I'm not treating her like she kicks, bites, and strikes, but I was told that she did. So I'm just going to treat her regular. Regular meaning she's just a little gentle baby that don't know any better. And I'm going to rub her all over. If I treated her like she was a kicker, she would probably kick. If I treated her like she was a biter, she would probably bite. If I treated her like she was a striker, she would probably strike. If I treated her like she pulled backwards and ran away, that's probably what would happen. So right now she's treating me really nice, and so am I. I'm treating her really nice. You get what you give in this deal. All right. Now she's not Halderbroke either. Just gentle. I'm going to touch that left jaw, and I want her right front foot to step over. It did. So I'm going to pet her for that. This doesn't have to be a performance horse move. It just has to be an attempt at following a feel. There we go. Now I'm going to walk across here. When you're working with these horses in a stall too, it's really important that you don't pull yourself into a corner where you get trapped. I've done enough of these that this 12 by 12 stall here has a lot of room. You just have to work on the things you can work on when an opening presents itself. So I got lots of room over here. Right jaw. I want the left front foot and the hind. There, got them both. I'm going to pet her. Now you see how that opened up this whole side? It's a real simple idea, but I'm not going to make her take 2 or 3 steps to get her blocked in against this wall. It's dangerous. You could get squished. Now I'm going to pet her face again. There we go. Under this chin, rub this jaw. I'm rub this jaw. Put my finger in her mouth again. There. Now I'm going to touch her left jaw. I'm going to try to get her right foot and her right hind to step under itself. Let's see what we get. Right there. Now I'm going to show her what back up means. Just a step. I'm going to pet her. Now we'll go back to rubbing her again. I got my hand here in case she does try to bite me, but all I'm doing with that hand is making sure that this rope's not tight, and I'm touching and rubbing on her nose. Big breath. That means she's relaxing. Here we go. There we go. This little horse belongs to Jan Meeks, and real nice horse. Now I want her to step towards me a step. I'm going to touch her right jaw. I want her left front foot. There it is. Give her a pet. Rub on her. Lots of rubs at this point. Mostly it's letting her know she's amongst friends, introducing her to following the feel. Now she's right here. I'm going to go left and right, and I'm going to back her up a step. There it is. Give her a pet. None of this stuff has to be performance quality. We just have to get her to the point where she trusts us enough to interact with her on our terms. We can interact with our horses and have our horses chasing us around in a pen and biting us, kicking us and striking us and all that other bad stuff. That's interaction too. It's not good interaction. So why not on the first day, first lesson? Now you see how she's creeping into me? I'm going to work on one more step of backing up. There. Work on what presents itself. Now, I got a little room right here, so I'm going to try to get her right front foot and her right hind and see if we can get her turned like a pop bottle. There it is. Now one step back. Yeah. Now we give her a pet. Now we'll go back to this again. Over and over and under, and then touch her face, remember? She wants to touch this. She's curious about it. Let her be. Yeah. Now I'm going to try to touch her between the chest right there. That's how you work on a striking horse. That's a blind spot. If she doesn't strike, that's good. But I'm not going to treat her any way other than how she treats me. My job is to educate, not punish. So if she treats me poorly, we need to educate that. Punishment don't work, because punishment's after the fact. We need to educate the thought so that the body doesn't do an action that we feel the need that we have to punish for. I want her to step to her left, touch her right jaw, and we just wait. I'm not over there pulling her to me. I'm touching that jaw right there. You can see it. This is where I want the left front foot to step over. Just like that. And if you wait, and they know that you'll wait, they never freak out and get full of anxiety, because they know if they don't know what you're asking them to do, that you'll give them enough time to do what you're asking them to. This is how we introduce them to the program. Now I'm going to have her step to her left and move her left hind, or I'm going to have her step to the right and move her right hind under. So we'll see what we get first. There's the right front, there's the right hind, and then we'll give her a pet. Now we're going to pet her with both hands. Just like that. Rub both jaws. Believe it or not, the jaws are an endorphin trigger that release dopamine right into the brain. If I've got the chemical terms wrong, it's because I learned them wrong years ago. And it relaxes them. Now I want her to drop her head. So I'm going to put my hands on above the halter knots. When she drops her head, I'm going to take my hand off. Like the nose band on a hackamore. There. Now I'm going to pet her some more. We're going to drop her head down again. See if we can do that. There. We're not going to overwhelm her and try to teach her 300 different things today. All we're going to do today is prove to her that we can interact with her, that our tools are not scary, and she can follow a feel just a little bit. We're going to rub her here. If you're going to rub them on the left side, make sure this sticks in your left hand. Down to them legs, up that leg, under the belly, down that leg. You're just tracing them like a little kid with a fat crayon. Top line, behind the butt, both hands, both legs, up to the pole, behind the ears. You see how she's getting kind of dopey acting? All of her anxiety was for no reason. If there was any, she's creeping left and right. We'll work on that backup. We got 2 steps that time. Try to make sure everything you do in here or everything you do on the ground, try to make sure you could copy that sitting on their backs. If you can't copy it in the same way when you're sitting on their backs, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your horse's time. The last thing I want to do when I sit on a colt for the first time is teach it a different way to turn or back up or go somewhere. I'm going to teach them that way from day one, so that's not a problem. Well, there you have it. Introduction to the tools. Moved her shoulder, moved her hip, backed her up, petted her, put my finger in her mouth, had her follow a feel on her face, haltered her. That's a good enough work. Now, I want her to take the halter off the same way we would. Now, see how she's nosing right there? Just keep your hand there. Touch her nose first. That's all you got to do. You don't have to hit them. Rub that jaw and let her drop that. And pet her as you walk out. And then you leave her. She don't leave you. And that was the textbook first work. That's the way I expect them all to go. Hope that helps. Bye.